You know, people ask me all the time, why do you do this? Why do you not retire and read books and write fancy academic papers? And I say, yes, that is also important. But what is more important is that I was given an opportunity to read books in the first place, to engage with ideas because of the sacrifices of ordinary people. And so part of scholarship must be given back to the people in the form of public engagement. I see myself as a public scholar, what we call an activist scholar or a scholar activist, who's always trying to use the knowledge that is gained from reading books, from observing people in their communities, in their society, and giving them back, in the words of a UC Kwayana, giving them back to the people as a political nourishment and by extension, cultural nourishment. That's what I'm about. It's about being that public scholar whose work is not just confined to the classroom, but that classroom is extended to the public space. I'm David Hyde.
Mr. Watts, he is armed himself. Shots. Watch it. Tear gas. Live rounds. Also, I can see that.
Just for Quindon! Everyone is a boxer, man. Why can't you put in the boxer, man, to do that?
But since my cousin there, no, you come on the East Coast.
You listen to me.
Right? No, you come on the East Coast.
You listen to me now.
You gotta listen to me too, man.
I am listening to
right?
you.
Now, I see you on the East Coast. The day when they get a protest of them, the next day, that's when you see one bigger heads come up to talk to my family. Right? And that's bad. If we didn't do a protest, we want to see nobody for justice. I'm not holding back nothing. I'm not holding back nothing. I just need justice for my family.
Please help keep Politics 101 on social media and broadcast television. If you are in North America, please donate via Cash App or PayPal.
If you are in Guyana and the Caribbean and don't have access to Cash App and PayPal, email your pledge to dhines6106@aol.com and we will direct you how to get your donation to us. Thank you in advance for your donation.
West Indian politicians and their narrowest views for me will always have to be on their P's and Q's to answer my pen when it's awesome strength. They stretch, yes, stretch to any length to defend their rights. The masses won from emancipation until the present. Time is essential in everything. West Indian politician, take heed while I sing, cause you tell Trini he better than Bajan. You tell BG he's smarter than Jamaican. You tell Jamaican he live on the best island, then turn round and tell them you preaching island integration. West Indian politician, I check out your evil ploy. The more I hear you, the more you sound like Westminster choir boy. West Indian politician, I check out your history. And because you train in England, Westminster joking me. Oh, West Indian politician, you use people like a tool, and you aim and game is shameful. Divide and rule, your honestness must wither and slowly die. Your muddy river will run dry, and disaster will strike you like hurricane, wind blowing a change in every island. Time is essential in everything. West Indian politician, take heed while I sing, cause you say you don't want nothing from Guyana. You say you don't care if all them die and suffer. You laugh at Patois in Dominica and St. Lucia, then turn round and declare you looking after the welfare. West Indian politician, I check out your evil ploy. The more I hear you, the more you sound like Westminster choir boy. West Indian politician, I check out your history. Because you train in England, Westminster choking me. Oh, West Indian politicians, your end is near. Your victory, I swear, I hear loud and clear. 'Cause how long can we bear this burden of yours? Your festering sores fill every ear, and the people will rise with soul and pride. The shackles will be loosened and then cast aside. Time is essential in everything. West Indian politician, take heed while I sing, 'cause you promise me a proper education. We yet to see the fruits of your prediction. Your wicked deeds are deceit that smash the People's Federation. But color Louis Cuckoo, forever one people, one nation. You say you don't want nothing from Guyana. You say you don't care if all them die and suffer. You laugh at Patois in Dominica and St. Lucia, then turn round and declare you looking after the welfare. Le 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 le.
Here we go. No song. I muted myself. Oh, my goodness me. Oh, Lord. Good evening and welcome to Politics 101 on Politics 101 on a Wednesday evening. Coming in there with Anthony Carter, the mighty Gabby, Mr. Politician, West Indian politician. Last night, of course, we played Gabby with Emerton, and many of you asked me for some more of Gabby, and so we came in tonight with a West Indian politician, the mighty Gabby out of Barbados. He's the cultural ambassador for Barbados, and I was saying when you were not hearing me that we're getting closer and closer to our Calypso and Reggae show. I was working today with the graphics person, trying to get all the intro and outro for the show and all of that put together. And we're aiming to get that show going. Hopefully on Saturday, because we're aiming for Saturday nights at 7 p.m. And Sunday, of course, at 6 p.m. is our cricket show, which we launched last weekend and really got some excellent, great feedback on the cricket show last weekend. And we're coming again. It's going to be on Sunday nights at 6 o'clock, as we in the Caribbean would say. Sunday night, 6 p.m. It's for emphasis. It's not redundancy. It's for emphasis. And we're aiming to see if we can get that reggae show going, reggae and calypso show going on Saturday night. I am working with, like I said, the graphics person, getting things right. Good evening to all of you who are joining us. Rickford Burke is backstage, and he is going to be front stage shortly. Rock star. So I know many of you would want to hear from Rickford. You know, Rickford has his own show and his other shows, but you know, every show has its own slant, its own emphasis. So I suppose when Rickford comes on to my show, he comes with the Politics 101 slant. So sometimes you say, well, you know, I hear Rickford on his program, and I hear him on Mark, and I hear him on this. Each program has its own personality. Its own personality. So when Rickford comes here, you think, but he's backstage, and he is ready to roll. He's ready to roll. And so please group up, and let's get ready. We have lots to talk about tonight. You know, sometimes during the days, I don't get around to what's happening on social media. I try to sometimes use the days to do research and writing and teaching and so on. So I'm sometimes very late on some of the tech-ups, as we would say in Guyana, some of the tech-ups on social media. But today I was inundated with the latest tech-up. And I think it originated with Rickford himself. And I want to play a little bit of it for you.
So, what is happening? You know, we've been talking about the bridge, the acquiring of the bridge. So, we have already gone up.
Acquiring the bridge, but acquiring the bridge.
We have acquired a property for the building of the bridge. I said, we have acquired a property for the building of the bridge. I'm correcting myself. And the only matter we have outstanding this is the amount to be paid for compensation.
Oh, you acquired it already?
Yes.
Behind my back?
No. We told the whole country that there's a publishing official that it and everything.
Why?
Because we've been meeting with you.
Is that illegal or is that
No,
illegal?
no. That is illegal.
Meeting with me? In what way? What capacity? In what
Anyhow,
capacity?
I have a letter that I need to give you, which is the notice of what is happening. I'd like to give it this to you.
Police are going out with y'all.
No, man, it's not police.
This is police with terrorism. Every time y'all come, it's police with terrorism. Y'all doing it with people. Now, if I did got a project, nobody's stopping development. But the things that y'all going on with is not professional. And y'all inconsistent with y'all doing. Very unprofessional, this government, I tell you.
The only matter.
They come in and threaten you and all them kind of things.
Who threatened you, man? Who threatened you? Who came and threatened you?
How you could come to me this morning? You passed me 2 times. We had a protest out there on that road there.
A protest?
We had a protest in Black Yard. You were in your vehicle. You went up there and see that.
I don't know.
You wind up your vehicle,
No.
man. When you listen to me.
No. I don't know anything about any
I will call
protest.
all the residents. We have a protest right on the concern. We had a cocoa breakdown and all them things. You lost everything.
Protest?
No. Government officials never come in. Last fridge, washing machine. Nobody, no compensation, nothing. I wrote letter to you.
I don't have a letter.
Personally.
I don't have a letter.
I took 3 letters. One to the president,
I
one
don't
to
have
you.
any letter from you concerning.
One to the
I don't
president.
know what any.
I call the man right now down the road we carry.
Anyway,
and I got
all
all of the signature who signed to collect them letter to give y'all when they throw it in the dustbin.
Could you please collect this letter? Thank you. Could you sign here as receiving it, please?
I collect this letter unknowing to my lawyer, but I won't be signing.
You could take it to your lawyer.
I wouldn't be signing.
You won't be signing.
I wouldn't be signing.
Okay.
Because number one, a project like this here, nobody's stopping development. At least we should have had about 2 years notice. Listen, we born and grow here. I born and grow here. Look at me, I'm a senior citizen. And this is liaison. This project started in 2022.
My understanding is that you have agreed.
With who?
To give up.
With who?
With the Ministry of Housing.
With Ministry of Housing.
And the only difficulty that they have right now is what is the cost that you
agree. Nobody come and have no negotiation. Nobody here. It's for the abolition. Within 3 months, we got to move out. Within 3 months, we got to move.
I'm sorry about that, but I don't know about what you're talking about. I don't subscribe to that, and I don't know.
The president went up there a morning.
All right.
And we went up there to see the president. You know what he did? Watch how the police they had me like a prisoner of war because the residents went up there to see the president because of what's going on here. You can't sleep night nor day. Look at this house over here. What is house over here? We are these value how much millions of dollars?
57.
Millions of dollars would be over here.
Yeah, you don't worry them. Them is racist. That's what them is. That is Indian people. They give them partisan evaluation for these 2 houses. I want to give these people a next to nothing government evaluation. These jagabats, look them. Look them. If you feel this is mocha, We got news for ya. Then a Mocha, you know, this transported land. I say Mocha land is what? Squatters land. They might pass people.
And they're very unprofessional.
They
Because
might
you
pass
call me
people.
after 6 o'clock.
I know they disrespecting people. You pay people for them land and people can go. Just when you give to the Indians, you gotta give to people here. I know fucking body moving for me. None. Oh yeah, I feel that this is where? This is where you corrupt. Look them now. All the money they coming here, they're disturbing people peace. Look them. A bundle of demons. Look them. Yeah, come. It's transported land. You gotta give the people them their money. You gotta give the Indian people they pay them courtesy valuation. And are you running coming here stressing out people? Oh yeah. I a bundle of demon.
Like a prisoner war.
They got the strength here. What's the strength? Stink. As rain water fall, the whole place smell is stink. Yeah, I got a country. Go on the garden, Miss Vashti. So they knock it down now. These jagabats only time with y'all. It's only time. The bundle of demon I is.
Yes.
Go sign and collect nothing. You go back to your lawyer. Watch them. Yeah, they only that stressing out. Eh? People in here say, why you land and them I want to pay you. Look them. Watch them. Bundle demons. I have to know why you running in people's place. It's transported land. Are you paying the people them for the land? Are you want them $10 million for what? $1 million up in your cock hole. Look them. Bundle demon. No, don't go.
If I die tonight, I will die a happy man. If I die tonight, let me put it differently. If me dead tonight, me dead a happy man. That is what I want from Black people. That is what I spend my time every day trying to encourage that spirit with Black people. Those in Brooklyn who carry the president in there and chat a whole bunch of nonsense should look at this lady, Miss Vashti. I happen to have met her. They had asked me, they sent for me there last year, and I went in and I met with them. I met with Miss Vashti and others, and I think I know the sister's voice in the background. We didn't see her as she was there. I think she was the person who organized for us to go in there. I went in there with Brother Kadaki, and I met with those people. I met with Miss Vashti, and I'm so proud of that woman. I am so proud of that woman. I'm so proud of our people. I'm not asking anybody to block up anything, to kill anybody. All we're asking is to say, stand up, get up, stand up for your rights. You're human beings. And no minister should intimidate you. We are proud of you. We want you to, we don't want no segregation. Listen to Miss Vashti. She stand up and she talked to him. His power and his authority did not intimidate her. We need more of that. We need more of that. As I said, I met Miss Vashti. And I'm coming to Guyana shortly to do my long leave stint, my 3-4 month stint that I do at this time of the year. And one of the first places I'm going is Peter's Hall, to shake Miss Vashti hand, to hug her, because she's an example to the rest of us. Black people are not pigs, we are not dogs, we are human beings. And often it takes a woman, in this case, an older woman, and all the women to stand up and to show us how it's done. Fear no man. Whatever is power is wrong, it's wrong. Stand up to them. And you all black people who making you all self into nothing, bowing down at these people's feet, you all are not worth the blackness of your skin. This lady has cleared the way so that we can see through to the other side and that we can live for tomorrow so that we can join the teachers. If I'm dead tonight, I'm dead happy, man, but I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I want to live to see more of that. Brother Rickford Burke.
Good night, Doctor.
The liberty to say that is the fruit of your labor. That is the fruit of my labor. That is what we're talking about. That is what we're talking about. I'm so proud of that woman. I'm so proud to share the color, the skin color of her that she has. I'm proud to share that. I'm a proud black man tonight because of what that woman has done. And we need to do more of that. My brother, Rickford, good night.
Good night, Doctor. Good night to your audience. Thanks for having me.
I think you are the one who sent that video viral.
Yes, I did.
Thanks. What's going through your mind?
Well, we didn't need to have a show. Miss Vashti said it all. She should have the last word. What struck me most, though, two things struck me. They sent a slave catcher in the person of Juan Edgil, a slave catcher, to go to Peters Hall to the black residents to give them an eviction notice. That notice, that letter that he wanted her to sign, it is an eviction notice. This racist government, dominated by Bar Jagde and Irfan Ali, sent a black man, and they always do it. They sent a black man to Peters Hall to give an eviction notice to the black citizens of Guyana. So you can't say it's racism because it's a black man come to put them out. Working for the ethnic racists in the PPP. That's the first thing that struck me. The second thing that struck me, apart from her tenacity, is the fact that she said across the street where those East Indian people live, they paid them $57 million for their property. And they want to offer the black people across the other side $10 million. They have no respect for us. They think that Guyana is a plantation and black people are subject to their East Indian, and not any East Indian, PPP ethnic supremacy. And we have to stand up for it. And that's why we have programs like this. They call us racist because they conflate their racism and our condemnation and exposure of it to an attack on East Indian people. And in doing that, they're acknowledging that they're an East Indian government that's only governing for their own ethnic collective. But I want to tell the people of Peters Hall, like Ms. Vashti said, we are not objecting to development. Guyana has to develop. But the PPP government think that they must develop Guyana alone. That's the first thing. And secondly, they think that black people must bow to their whims and fancies. You see, if that was Jamaica, you think that fool could go to Jamaica if he was a minister of the government in Jamaica or even Trinidad and do that? Go and give the people an eviction. Here she said, no negotiation. No negotiation. They went to them and say, okay, we're building a new bridge and this bridge is going to pass here. We want this land. And without her knowing, they completed the process and secretly acquired her land. That's what they did. The Attorney General engaged the process for the government to acquire that land via public domain. They invoked that, and they secretly acquired transported land. And then they tell the people, We're going to give you that land over there. We're going to give you $10 million when the people say the house worth 20, and you go to hell. And you know why they're doing it again? Because they did it with the people of Mucka at Caneview, and they got away with it. I repeat this. Governments fell around the world for atrocities like that. You think the Jamaica government could do that to the citizens of Jamaica? You think Trinidad or Antigua or anybody, any government could do that to their citizens? And so I want to encourage the people of Peter Hall to stand up for their rights. Let them go there with a bulldozer and bulldoze those homes like they did to Mucka. Let them go and do that again. If I were the people in Peters Hall, I will move unless I am satisfied that the negotiations have produced a product with which I agree, satisfied, and there was an amicable settlement. Again, we are not development. So tomorrow, Barrack Jack, they're going to go and say, Rickford Burke is against the construction of the new Harbor Bridge. We are not against development. We are against the mistreatment of Black people. We are against East Indian supremacy in Guyana, where they're treating East Indians as though they are the owners of the country, and they're treating Black people like we live on a plantation. That's what we're against. And I'm proud of the people of Peters Hall. Stand up to them. Don't move unless you're satisfied with the arrangement the government has put in place for you to be compensated for your property. If not, let them go and bulldoze those homes again.
Let them go and bulldoze those homes again. Rickford Burke with us here tonight. Rickford, let's take a short break and get some more wisdom here. Let's get a short break and get some more wisdom.
You tell me to forget that my grandmother was born right there, so alright, I say I shall go. You tell me to forget, it is there I want my own children to grow. Alright, I say I shall go. But I hope you understand how I feel about Emerton, my homeland, my homeland, my homeland. And I hope you know it's true that I would never forgive you, because look what you do to my Emerton. You tell me to forget that you bring bulldozers and push down the houses, so alright, I say I shall go. You tell me to forget, you bring bulldozers and push down the houses, oh, alright, I say I shall go. But I hope you understand how I feel about Emerton, my homeland, my homeland, my homeland. And I hope you know it's true that I will never forgive you, because look how you do to my Emerton. Ay, sakit, put that on, sakit. You tell me to forget. You bring bulldozers and push down the houses. Oh, all right, I say I shall go, but I hope you understand how I feel about Everton, my homeland, my homeland, my homeland. And I hope you know it's true that I will never forgive you, because look how you do to my Emerton. Ay, sakit, put that on, sakit. You tell me to forget, that you uproot my people and scatter them to and fro. All right, I say I shall go. Oh, you tell me to forget that you did the wrong things and they let my children know. All right, I say I shall go, but I hope you understand how I feel about Everton, my homeland, my homeland, my homeland. And I hope you know it's true that I would never, 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 never forgive you, because look what you do.
You must never, 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 never forgive them for what they've done. What they did to Moko, what they did to Hillfoot, what they did to Linden, what they attempted to do at Pleasance, what they did in front of the hospital, what they did on the seawall. We must never forgive them. Some of you are asking for the name of the song. It's Emerton. Emerton, it's a village in Barbados, and they went there and they bulldozed the people's houses to do their development. And as usual, the Calypsonian captured it, captured the sentiment in song, in calypso. That is why the calypso is the greatest music that God has inspired man to create. When God was sharing gifts, he gave us in the Caribbean that gift, that musical gift, we will never forget. We dedicate our show tonight to Miss Vashti. We dedicate our show tonight to Miss Vashti because I think she has lifted the spirit. She has lifted the spirit of our people. And you all know that I've been talking, as you all young people say, Nidez, I've been clapping to my friends in the PNC. I've been clapping. You all better take a stand now. I'm not going to fight anybody in the opposition now. But when this history of this period is written, I want it to be said that David Hines saw black people bleeding. And he went with band-aids to stop the bleeding and to help to lift black people to defend themselves. And for those of you all in the PNC who playing around with black people's lives, when all of this is over, we got to deal with you all. Brother Norton came out last week and he made the clearest statement. I'm waiting on Brother Roysdale to make a similar statement, and Sister Manza and others. You all have got to stop endangering black people's life, because the PPP is doing this because they're certain in their mind that the PNC is not going to stand up. And you all have built the PNC from 1958 to now, counted 66 years. You all have built that party. You all have given them your money, your votes, your tears, your sweat. And now in your darkest hour, they're playing politics. They're going to lose crossover votes. They're prepared to sacrifice your bodies, sacrifice your land, sacrifice your honor and your dignity for few crossover votes. I'm saying to my brothers and sisters in the PNC, stop it now. You all got to defend black people. As that lady said, it's bullyism, it's terrorism. And the party that you all have built must come out now. Must come out now. Must come out now. I was in the PNC leader's office a few years ago, and some APNU ministers were held up in Sharma place because apparently they had gunmen at the top of Freedom House. And our ministers were held up in there. They went there for a program. And I was sitting in the office of the then leader of the PNC. And he picked up the phone. And he called the leader of the PPP. And he said, I hear what's going on there on Rob Street. And call it off now. Because if you want to play that game, I can play that game too. In 2 minutes, the gunmen were gone from Freedom House Stop, and our leaders were able to come out from Sharma. That is the PNC that I know. And this Mickey Mouse, timid PNC that's walking around the place, sacrificing black people's lives, you all got to stop it. We're not about to fight now. The only fight that we're fighting is the PPP. And when they're gone, we'll have to deal with you all. I'm giving my young brother, Jermaine Figueroa, a pass because he's young. And he fly off at the smoke because that's what they teach him in the PNC. And I'm giving him a pass. But the next one that come out, no pass. No pass. All of us got to stand up now and defend black people because they're under attack. You see who went there to bully that lady? It's not an underling. It's a minister, a black man. Went there to bully that woman. And they would not do that if they know that the PNC is going to push back on them. But they figure they got the PNC in the corner. The Chronicle carry a column by Freddie Kissoon. He named Rickford Burke, Mark Benshop, David Hines, and Takumo Gunse, and said, we ain't got no party, we ain't running for election, and we making trouble, and Aubrey Norton supporting the trouble, and so trying to separate the PNC from us. They figure they can play the PNC, and some people in the PNC taking playing, and it has to stop. It has to stop. I'm not interested in PNC politics. I'm interested in the defense of black people. The defense of black people in this hour when they're being bullied left, right, and center, killed. And I want my brothers and sisters, Brother Risedale, I'm waiting for you to come out. Sister Manza, I'm waiting for you all to come out and say plainly that you all will put your bodies as a barricade between our people who are being slaughtered. Brother Aubrey has led the way. He has more to do. I'm not saying it's enough. He has more to do. He has more to do. But this confounded nonsense has to stop now. When I look at an old woman has to defend herself against bullies, where is the goddamn party that she and others spend all their lives voting for? Voting for. I say no more. Freddie said that Rickford and Mark and me and Ogunse are from the lunatic fringe. Well, Freddie's on the fringe of the lunatic fringe, and he's more lunatic than fringe. But I leave in he to not even the gods, because the gods will pass him. You have to leave him to the devil. Brother Rickford Burke.
Well, I have one suggestion.
I have to clear my chest, because old people say my stomach na bankos. My stomach na bankos. I have to vomit it out. Anyway, go ahead.
Freddie Kishoon. I have one position with Freddie Kishoon. Kwame McCoy was sent by the PPP to throw feces in his mouth. And everything that he has been saying since then has been feces. So I just dismiss him. I know for sure today that Member of Parliament Nima Flew Bess was on the ground. I think that's her area with these people in Mukka. I would like to see all of the different leaders, and not only PNC leaders, all of the black leaders in Guyana, the church. Where's the church? Where's civil society? Where are the defenders of democracy? The ones that were flouncing themselves around in 2020 talking about they're defending democracy. Where are they now? Especially the church. Especially the church. Where are the church leaders? And we should raise the alarm bell, because we saw what they did to those black people in Mukka. And they will send black police officers again, like slave catchers. Black people must understand in Guyana that when the Europeans went to Africa, and Professor, you could articulate this better than I can. When the slave catchers, the Europeans, went to Africa to buy slaves or get slaves or acquire slaves or whatever, they paid black people to go and round up those people to sell them into slavery. That's what is happening with One Ejil. That's what's happening with the Prime Minister. They're rubber stamps. They're there to camouflage the racism of the party. And I dare say to the people of Mukka, when they come back there, sorry, not Mukka, Peters Hall, when they come back there, run them out. Run them out. Quote Barjack there and follow his advice. Chase them out of your village. Chase them out. You know what bothers me? Barjack, they were in Orphan Alley, fly out of Guyana, and they pay Ghanaians to give Ali an award. They come to New York and they pay lobbyists to arrange for them to meet with black members of Congress and black elected officials because they want black validation. They want to meet. Orphan Alley left Guyana and came to Brooklyn to meet with some business owners on Church Avenue in Brooklyn, claiming that he wanted to talk with them and see how their business is doing. He wanted ads. He wanted content for political ads. They wanted a photo op. In Guyana, they don't want to meet with black people. They're not going to meet with the black leaders in the country. They said it. They're not going to meet with the opposition, even though the Constitution requires it. They don't want to meet with black people in Guyana. They can't even meet with the black people whose homes and properties they want to acquire so that they could pass the New Harbor Bridge. And also, let me say this, Dr. Hines. There's a pattern developing in Guyana where whenever they undertake a development project, they structure the project to bypass black communities so that the black people can't benefit from the economic boom and the commerce and the trade that will be generated by either that new road or bridge. Look what they did to New Amsterdam. When they crossed the Berbice River, they moved the bridge from New Amsterdam and carried it to an East Indian area. In Mukka, even though they threw out all those black people from KMView, and KMView is not in the alignment of the road, as Barjack, they've said. That's a lie. They're homes that are closer. KNV is 450 feet away from the new highway. Their homes that they're building now on the alignment on the road shoulder that are 20 feet away from the road. But you know what? They didn't give those black people that they moved from KNV one plot of land along the new highway. You know who got a big plot of land? Sheriff Security. Barjack, their friend. I heard that Barjack, they may or may not be a part owner of Sheriff. I don't know. Maybe they're laundering money. I don't know. But that's the talk I'm hearing. He goes on his program and at his press conference and talk about rumors that he heard. So we can talk about rumors about him too. But they are, Dr. Hines, as you know, back in the 60s and the 50s, the KKK and the Jim Crow racists had nooses by which they used to tang black people and hide them and hang them in the trees to kill them. This PPP government in Guyana, they have a noose around the necks of black people to stifle them from economic survival. They're committing economic genocide. They're committing economic genocide. And Freddie Kissoon and Barjack, they could target you, Mark, and myself because we're the opposition. We're leading the opposition. We're educating the people. I don't mind them calling my name. They sent police with gunmen to my house. They got the police to institute charges against me, guy, even though I live in another continent. Right? But that's what they did to Nelson Mandela. That's what they did to Dr. Martin Luther King. We don't care. That's what they do to people who fight for black people. They criminalize us. And what is glaring is the difference in the treatment of East Indians. They don't care. They don't care about that. They're showing you that they believe in ethnic supremacy. I have never seen an East Indian woman dragged from her house through the mud by black police officers. They dare not. Clifford Hicken, the police commissioner, dare not send his officers to drag an East Indian woman through the mud. He would be fired the next day. They can't do it. The woman is, Miss Vashni just pointed right across the street in that video to a house that is obviously far lower in value than the other houses I have. We're going to release those videos piece by piece because I have videos and I have photographs of massive homes that they want to, black people own, that they want to pay those people $10 million. But they're giving the house across the street, obviously, with a far less value, $57 million, because that's an East Indian. They know to spend money. Black people only know to spend money to go to Burna Boy show and whatever it is. Oh no, they don't need to build a nice house. Only East Indian people must build nice houses. That's the mentality. And I hope these black people, especially by young black men and women, that taking their money and their free tickets and go and party while they take away the homes of their grandfathers and their ancestors. I hope they stop that nonsense.
Rickford Burke here tonight speaking truth to power. And I want to say very, very, very clearly. Old people say, separate the sheep from the goat. Nima flew best in part of the nonsense. She's a gem. She's what all
hard worker
leaders should do. She is a gem. She is not a big frontline leader, but when you go there on the East Bank and you see what that young woman does, she is what, she's an example to the rest of them. I want to make it clear. And as I said, Brother Aubrey Norton came out last week and made a clear statement, as clear as they can get. He needs to do more. He needs to do more. He needs to do more, but at least he has come out. I am calling on the others. I know Brother Roysdale has made statements here and there, but Brother Roysdale has to make a clear statement in defense of black people. Sister Manzo need to make clear that this is going wrong. I can't take it anymore. I cannot take it anymore. Badness happening to Indian people. Badness happening to Amerindian. Badness happening to black people. But black people badness is a different kind of badness. Indian badness get them $57 million in Peter's Hall. Black people badness is 10 million. This nonsense that we go around and say, well, Indian people, yes, Indian people suffering. But the suffering is a different kind of suffering from black people. And I want the leaders to stop this nonsense. I'm not about to fight anybody now, because we're fighting the PPP. We're fighting wickedness. But when we fight and we win, those who did not stand with black people, we'll have to deal with them. We'll have to deal with them. We'll have to deal with them.
Dr. Hines, let me say this. I want to respond to the government. They issued a statement today. I saw the statement. And they outlined, they responded to my statement on this matter. I'm happy they're paying attention to whatever I say, because every time I say something, they respond. I'm not concerned about process and the law. I know what the law says. I know what the process is. What we care about is how they treat people. Of course, the law gives them the right to acquire property if it's for development. Of course, we know that. The issue is how they treat people, and the process of consultation and agreement. It is not bullyism. You heard Ms. Vashni clearly just now. They want to bully her out of her property. The government talks about how the Attorney General and this Minister of Housing, Colin Crowell, went into. We don't care. We don't care what the Minister and the Attorney General did. We care about how they treat the people. You don't go to the people and tell them, this is the process, like they did in Makkah. This is transported land. They can't go to the East Indians and do that. And they could call me racist all they want. They might pass black people. They can't go to the East Indians and tell them, this is the process, okay? We will get some government valuation officer to come value your property, and we will give you what that value is. No. And I want to see the people of Guyana use the courts more often. Go to court and file an injunction against the government.
Brother Rickford, you are a champion. But let me say something here. Struggle has to do with the synthesis of leadership and followership. The leadership must be confident that the followership will follow them. And the followership must be confident that the leadership
will guide them in the right direction.
Guide them. This thing is not a one-way thing. A lot of times you say, well, what the guy these people doing? Leadership. When I was a little boy, 13, 14, 15, I left Buxton, come down to town, running behind the WPA. When I look around, I see Quayana, I see Rodney, I see Ruth Narain, I see Thomas, I see Andaye, I see, but they're in there fighting on the front line. And I, as a young boy, feel protected. When I tell me auntie, I go in, she said, once teacher Sydney, they used to call brother UC, once teacher Sydney gonna be there, you go, because I know you will be protected. Leadership. When people look around, they must see their leaders. So this thing is the synthesis. Look, and we're moving out to tomorrow. Look what the teachers have done. The teachers tell the union leadership, we want to strike. The union leadership then strike. And that strike, that action was a fusion of leadership and followership. And when those teachers look around and they see Coretta McDonald in all her glory, they feel protected because the leader out there fighting like a tiger. They say, oh, Coretta, the talk thing wrong, she just wrong talk. She follows one, she do wrong talk. What they call in wrong talk. She's a tiger. She's a leader. And that's what helped to keep that teacher struggle. When they look around and they see Coretta, they know that the leadership is hugging them up. And as they go back tomorrow, they are going to demonstrate to us again how you conduct a struggle. Your leadership can be over there saying, I want crossover vote in 2025. And the followership over here say, I'm getting beat on my back. I'm getting beat in my ass. Me house broken down. Me picnic getting shoot. And you over there is the leader. You talking about crossover vote. To hell with that. It is time the language of the fellowship and the language of the leadership come together, and that's how you get action. When the interests of the leadership and the fellowship are fused, out of that come action, the action that you are talking about. Look at what the teachers have done. The fusion of militant leadership and militant fellowship. That is why you got what the teachers doing. And we as political people, that's what we have to do. Our language is condemning. Condemning. I don't mind condemning. I don't mind that. But you have to go one step, as you all did in Brooklyn. You are not taking food out of no black business. All you all are saying, you didn't care Ali in your bathroom and your basement and drink and whatever you want, drink and flip your roti there. You carry him in your business. Your business place represents a contract between you, the provider, and the people who are the consumer. And you are taking their enemy into that space. They have a right to tell you, go to hell, and take their money and go give it to another African Guyanese business and build them up. So this boycott is not about breaking down African Guyanese businesses. It's about building up African Guyanese businesses. And I was saying to black people, if you all want to be slave catchers, we're going to deal with you all. And there are 193 ways, as Professor Dr. Henry Jeffrey liked to say, to protest. And what you all are doing in Brooklyn is just what the doctor ordered. I don't care if it's 50% of the clientele boycott them, or 30%, or 20%. They must be taught a lesson that you do not use the hands of the murderer and take we money and entertain the political murderers. No, we got to deal with them. We got to deal with them. No. The teachers are back on strike tomorrow. Rickford Burke, your thoughts?
Well, I'm happy to see the teachers on strike. And look again, ethnic supremacy. Whenever the cane cutters strike, the government goes to parliament and gets a big $1 billion subvention, 50 billion, 40 billion, and pay them. Why? They are East Indians. They are East Indians. And the country has to realize that the racism label that we have exposed and the people in the world, around the world, have plastered on this PP government is hurting them. And also they realize that their East Indian base is moving out to Canada and Richmond Hill. They don't have the votes to win an election. That's why they went and brought the Venezuelans to Guyana. That's why now they're going and try to bribe some black people to vote for them by giving them tickets to Burna Boy. And I hope that the Auditor General will tell us how much the government contributed to Burna Boy going to Guyana as a sidebar. But that's why they have to do that, because they don't have the votes. And now they're making a mockery of the nation's teacher. Could you imagine PPP executive members, some of whom are ministers of the government, poking fun, doing some comic show about teachers?
Yeah.
That's so, and they can do that because the majority of the teachers are black.
Yes.
That's the reality. It's black people that mocking them racist that from the PPP, mocking black people, and people like Onesh Waldron defending it. People like Wana Jill, Utah, the Prime Minister, who is a mockery for black people as descendants of slaves.
Rickford Burke, none of those names that you called are in the 35-member Central Committee.
None.
None of them are in the 15-member executive. Not one black person is in the PPP's executive.
Except Kwame. Kwame was
Kwame's co-opted. Kwame's on the Central Committee, Kwame and Jennifer Westford,
Mhm.
and somebody named Sarah Ramon. I'm assuming that she's black. They were elected to the Central Committee, but yesterday they met and they elected 15 members from that 35 to be on the executive. Not one of the 15 is black. Not one, not one. Rickford, under normal circumstances, that won't bother me. I know they're an Indian party, and I expect the majority of a majority of the leaders, if not all of the leaders, to be black. I don't have a problem with that. If I see 99% of the leaders in the PNC who get elected is black people, it don't bother me because it's a black party and it's an Indian party. But because they go around and tell black people that man boasts, you can see how much Indians, how many black people going to be at our Congress and so on. And they had some black people there, but none of them is elected to.
It was a renter crowd. Renter invite you for the Congress.
They have no.
You remember Barjack? They said he's rent a congressman. Them just rent a black man. That's it, the PPP. They don't have genuine black people in the party. They got to rent them. That's what Barjack Day and Orphanally do. Rent a black invitee to their party.
I intend to manage Barjack Day and Orphanally in a certain way, at the ballot box and otherwise. But I have the power. We have the power. We have the influence, I think, to manage black people who allow themselves to be rented. You see, the renters, we will deal with them at a certain level. But those who are allowing themselves to be rented, we have to deal with them now, as the people in Brooklyn are doing. And as the Brooklyn bug has to spread to the rest of the black community at home and abroad. This is no time to skin teeth anymore. This government has had 4 years to show that at least it got some respect for we. And what we are seeing every day is that they have no respect. And when an old woman has to stand up in she gap and defend herself against the ultimate bullies.
A slave catcher.
It makes me cry. It makes me cry because I'm saying that's where we are. And our leaders are busy going around the place and chatting nonsense about crossover vote and about this and about, we'll deal with crossover vote later on. What we want now is the killing and the bullying of black people must stop now. It mustn't wait for an election. It must stop now. And that's what I'm calling on my brothers and sisters in the PNC to say, you all do your all story over there, fight up and who be the leader. That's part of democracy. Democracy means that you all going to cuss Matty while you all think and so on and so forth. And hopefully when it's done, you all come together and so on. That's not my business. That's not my business. My business is black people business. And your silence over there is enabling those with a weapon in their hands. I think I see my sister Robin Simon is on here tonight. Robin is facing charges before the court. She was put in the lockup for what? For organizing the people of Golden Grove, Haslington, and Nabaklis, when a son of that village, those villages, was murdered. All that lady did was to organize prayer meetings, organize food, and what the government did, the government hauled her like a common criminal. All that lady did was when that boy was killed, was to stand up and say, you all are wrong, and I will bring out the entire village. And for that, she was all before the courts, treated like a common criminal, and our party, with your family, and you all don't get me here tonight. Our party, with your family, has given decades and decades of service to, busy talking about crossover vote and all kind of nonsense. There's a time and place for everything. We can talk about crossover vote when the time comes. For now, We can stop them from bulldozing those people's homes at Peters Hall. That old lady, she said, Barney, I man Barney, me neighbor string berry. You come and lick down my house and give me $10 million? Oh no, oh no, oh no. My brothers and sisters in the PNC leadership, some of you, not all, y'all get off. Y'all rear end and stand up for black people. Because if you all don't do it, come election day, when you are looking for them, they'll be skinning their ass on you all and saying, when I was suffering, you all did not come to my defense. I hope that is not going to happen. And for that to stop, you all got to get up and get. My brother, what's happening in Brooklyn? Talk to me.
Well, Brooklyn is concerned about the way people are treated in Guyana. Brooklyn is concerned about, in the diaspora, we're concerned about people who enable these racists to come here and we facilitate them without holding them accountable. And I want to say this, Dr. Hines, and this might be harsh because I was told it's hard for everyone to say. When the government changes and the PPP will come out of power, the PP, they're not going to be in power forever. I believe the government is going to change. All of these people must be held accountable. All of them must be, including the police officers, who they're using to execute their apartheid policies, must be held accountable. Anil Nanalal said in 2020, they're going to have to run from the country. Nobody said anything. I am saying it now. When the government changes, the new government cannot hold them accountable, we're going to run the government out of power too. These people must be sent into exile or jail. Bar Jagdeo, jail. Anil Nanalal, jail. That same slave catcher, jail. All of them must be charged for their atrocities. And you see all those lands they're taking for black people, I hope the government is going to say they're going to take it back. Take back those lands. Bulldoze back their properties. It might sound irresponsible, but that's what we need to ensure that we have justice and equity in the country. If Barrett Jagdeo, and I want to hear the opposition during the campaign, and I would pressure them to say it, tell the country that they're going to take back all those lands they're taking away from black people. And all those lands they're giving to the Qataris and whatever, we're going to take it back. The government, the opposition must make it clear, yes, we want investment. But you can't take away people land. Guyana is 83,000 square miles, 18% of which is inhabited. By the time we catch ourselves as black people, East Indians from the PPP, not even East Indians generally, will own 80% of Guyana. That's the mission they're on. They want to own the country like it was a plantation. They came and met black people there. We are the descendants of the slaves that built the country. And they want to take it away. They want to enslave us. And I know tomorrow Bar Jagdeo is going to come and curse me, and I'll be right there cursing his ass back. Because he is a slave catcher. They want to enslave black people. And I want to make it clear during the campaign, I want to hear the opposition say, they're going to take back those lands. They're going to take back those lands. They're going to remove the properties that they're building there and give back the lands. Mucka, that village was bought by slaves. They go and kick down the people's homes, drag the black woman through the mud on land that her great-grandparents were dragged through the mud by people who planted cotton. And her foreparents were cotton pickers. Barrett Jagdeo and the PPP government reduced her again to cotton picking slave. That's what they want to do to the country. And we must not tolerate it. So I want to hear the opposition say that they're going to prosecute all of these guys in the PPP that are committing these atrocities. And they're going to take back the land that they're taking away from people and give to their friends and business associates and their business friends from Qatar and Dubai or wherever. We're going to take back the lands.
Brother Rickford Burke, tonight I noticed they're chiding you, Rickford. They're saying my brother Hickins said it's not 83,000, it's 82 and 83 square miles.
What did I say? 83,000 square miles, sir.
No, you
what
said
did I say?
83,000. You said 83,000, but apparently Hickins somewhere said it's
Yeah, Hickins said was 83. Hey, I know my geography. I know my country.
I love my people. I love my people. Brothers and sisters, look, this must be a long, hot summer. It must be a long, hot summer. We got to get up and get. The teachers are coming out tomorrow. They're setting the ball roll. Let's see where it goes.
And I hope the public service union joined them. The public service union has been playing. The public service union leaders have been playing footsie with this government. It is time Patrick Yard, somebody that I know since I'm a teenager, maybe he's in that position too long. I don't expect somebody, when I was in my teenager, to be the president of the union, and today in 2024, he's still the president of the union. Give the young people a chance. Anyway, that's their business. But I hope the public service union will join the teachers union and have a strike. Let me have a general strike. And all the black unions, all the unions where there's the majority black should join the strike in solidarity with Afro-Guyanese who are under subjugation.
Afro-Guyanese who are under subjugation. Brother Rickford Burke here tonight. We are discussing the latest development in Guyana, the latest developments politically and otherwise in Guyana.
And Dr. Hines, can I say something?
Yes, go right ahead, my brother.
Barrett Jagdere's press conference, as we know, has now been named the Jagdere Burke press conference, because that press conference is about me. Every Thursday, the whole press conference is about me. So what we've decided to do is that tomorrow we launch a new program. While he's having his press conference, we will respond to him in lifetime. So tomorrow, 2 o'clock, everybody, tune in to my page, tune into YouTube. We're going to be having the Burke Jagdere press conference.
And there you have it. There you have it. There you have it, Brother Rickford Burke. I see my sister Marcia Dorset is on here tonight. Those of you who called me this morning early when I got off, no, the wise, what they say, the wiser the government, no,
the strength of the government, the wiser the population.
The wiser the population. No. After I came off from Kedaki's program this morning, several people called me to give me advice, and that is the ultimate of democracy. Thanks to my sister Koke from Buxton, who called me. There was the first person who called me and give me some words of wisdom. Some words of wisdom, and it shows that our people are engaged. I don't think our people are as disconnected as we think. I think there's a disconnect between the people and the leadership. But I think our people are connected. Let me see. There are 1,992 of you live here tonight. That's not disconnection. There's real people. There's real people in real time. By the time midnight tonight, that is going to multiply by 10. Our people are not as disconnected as we think. It is the disconnect between the leadership and the fellowship. The reason that Jack Dio spends time on Rickford Burke and so on is because Jack Dio knows what time of day it is. He may be a weakling in certain things, but he know exactly where the punch is coming from. He know where the punch is coming from. And I am not advocating for Rickford Burke to replace the PNC or Mark Bishop. I certainly don't want to replace the PNC. I want the PNC step up. Because
I have no intention of replacing the PNC either.
the PNC must show balls. That's what they must show. They must show balls and stop this pussyfooting around with our people's lives, because every life, every black life that is lost, every black job that is lost, every dollar that is denied black people, we in the opposition must take some responsibility, because the more we remain quiet, the more we find excuse why we can't go on the road. We can't go on the road because the PPP go infiltrate the march. If they infiltrate the march, bust the asses of the infiltrators. In 2011, myself, along with people like Eddie Collins and so on, we were leading the marches after the 2011 election. And we were going through Georgetown, and not one infiltrator came into that march. One day we were going down Main Street, and the crowd recognized an infiltrator. Me, myself, had to go and beg for him, me and Eddie. I had to beg them not to skin him alive. This thing about you're frightened that they infiltrate march, beef up your security. And if you get an infiltrator, bust their ass.
The government is going to say you're calling for violence, Dr. Hines.
Huh?
The government is going to say you're calling for violence.
I don't give a damn what the hell the government said. I done all already. And what the Calypsonians say, Sugarlos are ready to go. Are ready to go. I know what jail look like. I know what jail look like. Me, I'm frightened jail. I ain't frightened jail. I didn't frighten it when I was a teenager, and I ain't frightened it now. Truth is truth, right is right. If you have your march and people come in to cause trouble in your march, bust their ass and then turn them over to the police.
Well, it might be the police sending them, Dr. Hines, in this case.
That's why I said turn
the
them
police
over
is the operative of the government.
I said turn them over to the police.
They can turn themselves over to the
Bust their
police.
ass and turn them over to the sender.
Dr. Hines, let me say this. I had this discussion with someone, and I don't believe that there's no protest because people are scared of infiltrators. That's the weakest argument ever. I think there are two things. I think people need leadership. People need leadership. And I don't think we should underestimate the impact David Granger abandoning the supporters of the PNC and just walking away from the government has on the people. They haven't forgotten. And I don't think the PNC has reconciled that injustice with its supporters. And they must. I want to say that. They must. Secondly, the PPP has a history of killing people that come up against them. If they don't kill them, they criminalize them, and they send police after them like they did to Robin, like they're doing to me, like they did to Mark Benchcop. And I believe that because there has never been a serious consequence, they're trying it again, and they're intimidating people. But people need leadership. I remember when I was a teenager and I was working for Desmond Hoyt, in 1997, rather, when I went back to Guyana. What, 97 and 92? But in 97, I went back to Guyana for the campaign, and the police were shooting people. And Andy Gavai and Raphael Trotman were out there leading the protests, and maybe I think Aubrey Norton at some point in time too.
Yes, Aubrey was the chief organizer. He was the general secretary.
Aubrey was right. And I remember jumping in the vehicle at Congress Place, driving with the leader, Desmond Hoyt, onto Regent Street where they were shooting. And Hoyt walked out of his car straight to the police and challenged them to stop shooting. And Hoyt told them, shoot one more bullet into this crowd, and this country is going to be in confusion. And the shooting stopped. We need leaders like that. We need leaders that can pick up the phone and tell our finale, if you only touch Robin Simon, this place is going to become ungovernable, and have the ability to make it ungovernable. We need leaders like that. And we need people to stand up internationally, regardless of them sending gunmen to your homes or whatever it is, and tell the world what is happening in Guyana. People are scared because of what the PPP has done to them. I ain't scared, you ain't scared, of course. And so we have to overcome the intimidation. Dr. Hines, don't underestimate the fear that the murder of 1,400 Black people by Barrett Jagdeh when his death squad has on the people. And so Who
You're
wants
talking
to
about
know
the
there to
people
be
or you're
shot
talking
and
about the
killed
leaders?
and there's no justice?
You're talking about the people or you're talking about the leaders?
I'm talking about everybody.
Oh,
I'm talking about everybody, including the leaders,
I think they're
right?
more fair among the leaders than the
They're
people.
more scared than anything else. So the people will go, you see, it's the women leading them. It is the women. So I want to tell the people of Guyana that the international community is listening, is watching, and the most effective tool to fight tyranny, the most effective tool to fight PPP bullyism and racism and autocracy is political instability. Political instability. And when they went and broke down the homes of the people at Mocha and dragged the women through the mud and killed their cattle and bury it, we should have had political instability. If they only try to go and break down the homes of those people at Peters Hall, it must result in political instability. I make no apologies. I make no apologies because when you have political instability, it leads to some form of societal consensus.
Rickford Burke here tonight, speaking truth to power. The teachers were on the street for 4 to 5 weeks. We hear of no infiltration of the protest. I think they get good sense. If they send their infiltrators into the teachers' protest, them women would eat them rah, 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 rah. That teacher strike and protest is a good example of how you beat back infiltrators. If the PPP send me as an infiltrator, say go and infiltrate them teacher, and I watch the woman them, I going back and say, Jack, you go yourself. Go yourself. Go yourself. Look, there's nothing that beats militancy. Let me give you the cricket analogy. They say fast bowlers just intimidate batsmen. And in the 80s and 90s, we had a batsman. He chew his gum, he put on his red, green, and gold panian, and his walk and his swag. Isaac Vivian Richards. He intimidate bowlers. And the point I am making is that, yes, they will try to infiltrate your struggle. They will try to drive fear in you. But you have to counter that with your own aggression. And those who instill fear, they will run for cover. I remember Len Pascoe bouncing Richards and hit Richards in the head. And Richards shrugged him, turned his back, shrugged his shoulder. And the next ball he bounced Richards out to the ground. He stopped bouncing Richards after then. He stopped bouncing Vivian Richards. That's why they used to call Viv Richards Smoking Joe. Smoking Joe, because he used to come out like Joe Fraser and give it to them. And we have to adopt that kind of attitude. I have been really careful these last 4 years because I feel that you don't send people to be slaughtered. As leaders, you can't do that. You cannot send people to be slaughtered. I felt that what we needed to do in the last 4 years is what we've been doing, building up our stock, building up consciousness among our people, building up our people's resistance. Let the government choke itself. After 4 years, I think our people have developed a sense of consciousness that they didn't necessarily have 4 years ago. After 4 years, our people, I think, are angry. After 4 years, our people are frustrated. After 4 years, this government has skinned itself up, and we have skinned them up. The conditions are right for a counter-offensive from the opposition. We have to give leadership to our people. We have to give leadership to our people. We have to give leadership to our people. Rickford Burke, closing thoughts, my brother.
My closing thoughts will be this. I see somebody from the PPP making some comments about me here. Listen, I have no apologies to make. When Bar Jagdeo said that if the PPP must be elected to protect East Indians from the black officers of the military who will come and kick down their doors, they didn't say anything. Don't tell me anything. When Bar Jagdeo said, when David Granger and his prime minister and his ministers go to come to your villages, chase them out. Y'all, let's say anything. Don't tell me anything. Chase them out. When they come back to Peters Hall, if they don't come right, chase them out. When Barrett Jagdeo said Boycott the Washington Conference, even though he ain't got no power here. He said boycott the Washington Conference. He said that any business that support the Washington Conference, boycott it. Nobody said anything. Don't tell me anything. No. Red Bar Jagdeh threatened United States members of Congress that led to an investigation by the FBI and led to an investigation by the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police. These people who are criticizing me now said nothing. Go to hell. Don't tell me what to say. I am saying, chase them out when they come to Peters Hall. I am saying, if there's a new government, run them out of the country. They're racist. If they don't go, if you don't put them in exile, put them in jail if they break the law. Prosecute them, give them due. Well, I ain't too sure about due process because they're not giving people due process. Lock them up. They must go to the CCJ if they want a phone call. Let the CCJ pronounce on that. Treat them the same way that they treat black people. My closing thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brother Rickford. Thanks for coming on and spending some time with us. We are all
a pleasure.
Really grateful. Brother, continue the struggle.
Thank you. You too. Good night. Good night, everybody.
God bless you. And to you, the audience, I can't say how much more I've loved you tonight, and that you help to keep me ready for tomorrow, because we're going down this road together. We have reached that point where we've got to push the doors of hell open and to free the captives, free the captives. Let my people go, let my people go. They've done you nothing. They've prepared this place. They've turned it into a livable space for all of us to live. And now you come and you want to send them back to the plantation. Not on the cards. Not on the cards. We're going to fight this out. We're going to fight this out. Your weapons may be stronger. Your weapons may be bigger. You have the weapon of the state. You have the weapon of the government. You have the weapon of official power. But we have righteousness on our side. And we have the bruises, the scars to show. And those scars will inspire us for tomorrow. And tomorrow will come. It must come. As the Jamaican singers would say in the 1970s. And our brother Nigel Hughes repeats it all the time. Better must come. And I'm saying, better will come. I'll see you all tomorrow night, where we're going to come back and we're going to fight it out again. We're going to fight them every day of the week. We're going to fight them at every opportunity we get. At the end of the day, Guyana belongs to all of us. At the end of the day, we have to deal with the PPP because they represent half the population. But we will deal with them under different conditions. We cannot deal with them while they are slaughtering our people. We cannot deal with them while they are slaughtering. We have to disarm them. And those who are armed with the power that they have, they are not going to disarm themselves. We have to disarm them. It's time to rumble. It's time, my people, wake up. Tomorrow, the teachers are leading the way. And where the teachers lead, others must follow. Again, that's what people say, 2 morning more.